8 persons have been arrested by the police following JoyNews and Fourth Estate's latest investigative piece, School Placement for Sale, which uncovered widespread fraud in the computerized school selection and placement system. Investigation revealed that some parents paid up to 20,000 cedis to get their children enrolled in top-tier senior high schools. The SHS was introduced to eliminate corruption in the placement system, but some private individuals and government officials have connived to undermine the system. In the latest investigation, the Fourth Estate's Adjoado Bioguso and Evans Aziamomensa reveal that protocol placements into Category A schools were sold in 2022, even up to 20,000 cedis, to get their children enrolled in top-tier senior high schools. The CSSPS was introduced to eliminate corruption, but some private individuals have taken over and connived to undermine the system. In the latest investigation, here are extracts of the investigation.
The Ministry of Education set up a resolution center at the Nat Hall complex to resolve complaints regarding the computerized school placement system. When the Fourth Estate visited the center, desperate parents were found negotiating and seeking help on the placement of their wards. In that building was a network of security men and cleaners who served as liaisons between the desperate parent and officials of the CSSPS. The Fourth Estate reporter who went undercover met Eric Agri, a cleaner. He indicated he could help change a placement from Apam Senior High School to Mfantiman Senior High School at a fee.
Big school and big school, and yet better says the amounts I will about it. Still between myself from a pound of
But in less than 24 hours, Eric increased the amount from 7,000 to 7,500 Ghana cedis and would not reduce it. We presented another candidate who had been placed in Wesley Girls in Accra and wanted a higher grade school, Agri Memorial Zion Senior High School in Cape Coast. Eric demanded 8,500 Ghana cedis for that slot. After demanding and receiving payments, the syndicate changed the placements of the candidate from Accra Girls Wesley to Agri Memorial Zion Senior High School in 2 days. Why are they? With 8,500 cedis, the CSSPS was undermined as placements was changed from Accra Wesley Girls to Agri Memorial Zion School, Cape Coast, and with 11,000 Ghana cedis, placements was changed from Presbyterian Senior High Technical School, Ebri, to Mfantiman Girls Senior High School. The most sought-after Category A schools such as Wesley Girls at the time of our investigation were going for as high as 20,000 Ghana cedis.
If only 2 people have access to Category A schools, you're able to tell who did the placement for a certain student. So if these allegations come up as saying that, oh, a parent have paid money and this student have found himself at this school, you go to the system and IT people are able to tell which of the 2 people did the placement. So it becomes much easier than a situation where you have 100 people with IDs and it takes you so long to determine who did the placement for this person. So that is why access to Category A is very restricted.
If there's fraud in the matter, then myself as Director General and the Minister should take the responsibility. I fully accept that and I fully agree. But that is also the reason why I knew that I'm part of it. I took measures to ensure that the issues relating to corruption and the place on the payment of monies and things like that have been dealt with. And I wrote to the CID and then the BNI.
Minister for Education, Dr. Yari Duchum, says as persons found wanting in the expose will be dealt with, as he promises to work with the relevant institutions to deal with the matter.
The church, Presbyterian Church, how do I tell the moderator that the school that you funded and continue to fund and provide resources, if you want 5 or 10 students to go there, I won't allow you. So it's a system that we came to inherit. If, unfortunately, people are using dubious means to get access to something that has been set aside to these key supporters of education in the country, it has to be stopped. And that's why I embrace the documentary that has been done. As soon as we know the content, we'll respond appropriately, and we'll work with the security agencies to ensure that this year's placement will be flawless, and that nobody will be able to take advantage of something so sacred as free senior high school and giving opportunity to everyone to be in. I'm so happy, though, that something has been done, and we are going to embrace it and look at plug any loopholes that's out there. The protocol from the senior high school headmasters, nobody approves it. They just upload it. So if the high school headmaster has 50 people on protocol, they just upload it, and the technical person has to just say approved. You don't vet it. So the idea that you sit there and you are determining, no, you see, what happens with placement in all schools for that matter, and category A schools for that matter, is that 30% of all the placement is set aside for students who went to public junior high schools, a proxy for disadvantaged. So until now, until free senior high school, if you go to a school like Wesley Girls, only about 5 or 10% at most will have gone to public schools. This new system allows a minimum of 30% to come from those who have an equity intervention, so that they too can have access to schools that they will never have dreamt of going.
Ranking member on the Education Committee in Parliament says he's vehemently opposed to any form of protocol in the placement of students into the senior high schools. The legislator wants credibility, fairness, and equity in the school placement system.
Credibility, fairness, and equity within the context of the entire CSS PS program. Since I joined Ghana's Parliament in the 7th Parliament, 2017, I'm yet to have any opportunity of any protocol arrangement. So I don't know those who get those opportunities and why the rest of us have to bear the brunt. And this actually generates a lot of disaffection for us from our constituents, because they feel that we perhaps are being greedy and selfish, and perhaps we get these opportunities and we don't give it to them. So this is why I am, in principle, opposed to anything to do with protocol, because it generates a perception that is not true. It ropes in people like myself and many others who don't have those opportunities, and yet our constituents think that we do. For me, in principle, I don't support such arrangements. If there are corrections to be made and there are legitimate matters to deal with, that is different from saying that we are going to reserve 10%, 5% of placement allocations or recruitment into a security agency for protocol just because of persons who are privileged in society. If we are going to continue to be giving opportunities to those who are already privileged in society, then what is going to happen to the less privileged? Is that the type of society that we are trying to build? So the wealthy, the influential, and the elite should continue to get all the best opportunities to the detriment of the rest of the population? Is that how to build a nation?
But is that not what the system has created already? Because if you go to certain schools... But that is not acceptable.
I don't agree with what the system has created. That is my whole point.
Dr. Clement Park wants a special prosecutor to take special interest in this matter.
The Director General and the Minister are the two persons who have access, unfettered access, as far as the placement system is concerned. and particularly so to do with grade A and grade B schools. So if we have seen that placements are being sold and auctioned for persons to get their awards into grade A and grade B schools, you cannot tell me that the minister can feign innocent. If he knows that he hasn't done that, he's done no wrong, then he should be the one eager. He should have been championing the call for an investigation to fish out those who are doing it so that he can exonerate himself. Barring that, and given the liturgical attitude of security agencies towards investigating this matter, it seems to suggest that it is an institutionalized cabal that is at work. And perhaps there are many tentacles that the octopus has. So my suggestion would be that at this point, we ought to be looking at the Office of the Special Prosecutor or the Commission for Human Rights and Administrative Justice to look into this matter. The disinterest of the security agencies is very telling. And the fact that, quote unquote, this has been known to be happening, and yet calls for an investigation have not been championed aggressively, particularly by the ministry, leaves a lot to be desired.